Cleaned up. It's out of mine.
Mine's go fine.
Didn't go up at all.
There's something happening, guys.
I'd like to call over the Beaver County Board of Commissioners work session for Wednesday, October 1st, 2025. Review work session discussion meeting minutes. Good. Department head report. Dan?
Morning. Just an update on the park garage. Everything is still on schedule. All painting and everything like that on the top floor has been completed. They've been obviously poured some concrete, things of that nature. Would like to extend an invitation to the Board of Commissioners. As you know, we meet every Friday at 8 a.m. Talked with the folks this past Friday, and if you're interested in coming over to join us for that meeting, then they can give you a walkthrough after we have our discussion, kind of give you a brief progress update. So where everything is, you can set your eyes on it. So if it's something you're interested in, we'll be there at 8 a.m. Friday.
Yeah, since I have one floor finished, we can see what the whole garage is gonna look like by looking, I assume, at that top floor.
Yeah, and again, obviously you don't have to come to these meetings, but you're welcome anytime you want to come over.
Fair enough.
All I have.
Thanks.
Thank you. Any other department head report? Joy?
I'm gonna read it, because it's a long one, so.
Okay.
Good morning, Commissioner. I would like to discuss a concern I have about current credit card use. We have seen an increase in questionable charges. So some of these charges are small. If more departments started using the credit card, it will grow quickly. We're seeing networking events. We are seeing an upswing in people charging ticket purchases at networking events that aren't directly related to their job function. Our travel policy talks about how to handle mileage to these events, but not the ticket purchases. I am asking you to add a section to the purchasing policy to outline what's allowed and what approvals are needed before making these expenditures to networking events. Over the last 2 months, the district attorney's office has had multiple questionable charges. They've had 2 Starbucks purchases, lunch purchases are now showing up on there, and they had a promotional items charge of $3,200 to buy compact mirrors, pens, Post-it notes, stress balls, lip balm, koozies, sanitizer sprays, and stadium cups. The promotional items have his personal name on them. These handouts are to promote him as the DA more than the office itself. I can understand handing out items that would promote the programs like see something, say something, but these types of giveaways are to promote him as the DA, and that makes them campaign materials, and general fund money should not be spent on campaign materials. I've contacted the DA to repay the county, and he has not done so to this point. I've also asked you guys your thoughts on this, and I've not had a response yet. I stand by that these charges are inappropriate, and I would like him to repay the taxpayers. Also, the promotional items purchased violated the purchasing policy by not getting a PO for a $3,200 purchase. Other departments also have used the credit card for purchases over $2,500 and did not follow the proper purchasing procedure. Using a credit card for purchases does not mean that departments can avoid our policy limits for when to use a PO and etc. I have 2 requests. I think the DA should repay the taxpayers for the inappropriate charges, but I'm also asking you to help prevent this moving forward by making changes to our purchasing policy ASAP to include credit card usage rules and rules outlining restrictions on types of purchases like promotional items with personal names on them or tickets to networking events. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other department head reports? Hearing none, we'll move to the solicitor.
Mail-in ballots are out. Those were sent out and sort of arriving in the mail on Saturday. So anyone who's applied for those, if you haven't received it already, it should be in the mail momentarily. The other 2 items I have are contract negotiations and a litigation matter for executive session.
Any questions for the solicitor's office? Yes.
Quick question. Can you clarify, Garen, because I had a question like this and I think you've been clarified. Like someone got a ballot in the mail, like we were mailed a ballot automatically. I'm like, well, they probably voted in the primary, right? And they check a box. If they vote in the primary and check a box, don't they automatically give it for the regular
Yes.
one?
Yeah.
I don't want people to freak out like saying they're mailing ballots automatically.
When you apply for the ballot, you put on there that you want it for both elections.
Right,
Yeah,
so
you'd have to
that's
come-
why they automatically send
You'd
it
have to
out.
come in and say that you didn't want it for them.
I just want to clear that for people, it's like, we're not automatically sending stuff, you probably check the box.
Yeah, the only way you're getting this is if you check the box
Saying you
asking
wanted it.
you to receive these ballots in the mail. Otherwise, you're not gonna get one.
Any other questions for the solicitor's office? Hearing none, we'll move to commissioners.
Just went to see the portico at the Vickery House. Jack and I stopped by and spoke. What a beautiful job. I mean, when I spoke, I mentioned it when I was in DC, I got to go to the cemetery. And it's like the Arlington House or the Custis Lee Mansion. Of course, it's a bigger scale, but I had all the same thoughts when I was going through the rooms and we were walking around and I was eating cookies and enjoying myself. But no, it's a beautiful job. I know it's expensive when you deal with a historic building, but it's well worth it. It's beautiful.
Want to make sure Brenda's husband, Roger, gets the credit for those cookies. He's the maker.
I'll tell you what.
I throw a few of them down my throat as well.
Those were the ones I was the homemade.
I picked a bad time to go off sugar. Watching everybody eat those cookies, but Roger's a brilliant researcher, but they were very appreciative of the work that you guys did and the painting and the other stuff there as well. But it does look good, but you look around, there's still more work to be
You
done.
can't hear it. Standing on the porch, you can't hear it because of the clanging of the trains. And I mentioned that, back in the day, you used to be able to see the river. It was a beautiful front lawn. Now it's nothing more than confusion and noise and clanging and whistles blowing. But it's a beautiful place. That's all I have.
Well, it just said several of us here from the county were at the United Way kickoff breakfast this morning at the Fez, who always does a great job with that. But, and again, there's still some sobering news economically with a 40% homeless rate, 10 to 12% poverty rate, and 28 to 30% of our employees are residents who are one medical disaster or car mishap or broken furnace away from a real tough time. And it just reinforces the great work that the United Way does, but how collectively the government can't solve all these problems by themselves. Nonprofits can't. It really takes a collective effort. There's a lot of good corporate support there to make that happen, but a lot of that has to do with jobs. I know I was just on the radio Monday with Frank Sparks, and he said, well, how does Beaver County continue to attract and retain people? I said, by continuing to create jobs that people want and family sustaining wages so that folks can earn the right income, get out of that Alice category, because some of those folks are working 2 minimum wage jobs to try and keep their households together and stuff. But that's what we're trying to do, create jobs. And there's a lot on the horizon, and a lot are coming, but every time you create something shuts down somewhere. We have Bruce Mansfield coming back, but Styropec just closed. And there's always these puts and takes and stuff to stay positive into job creation growth. But the incentives are there for Beaver County to continue to have a lot of job growth. And I think we're pretty pleased and pretty happy about what's on the horizon here. So that's it.
All right, we'll move to any other business. Any other business? Audience participation. Any audience participation? Hearing none, we will move into executive session. That's all I'm trying.
It's just